Hi, I'm Quentin Schultz. I am a retired quote-unquote professor of communication. I still do a lot of teaching, but not full-time, so I can do things like write books, including the book that I'll be talking with you about right now, Communicate Like a True Leader. Communicate Like a True Leader. Now, this topic that I'm going to talk with you about right now is so important for today, more so than it was when I began studying leadership and began teaching communication in the 1970s. It's unbelievable. You and I both know that the world is falling apart. All kinds of division, chaos, and a lot of it is manifested in people being critical of other people, disrespecting other people. It's all around us. It's happening in neighborhoods, in nonprofit organizations, and for-profit organizations. There is just so much bad will, ill will from person to person out there. And yet, we, as leaders, are called to persuade other people. So how do we persuade other people in a world of so much chaos and division? That's what I want to talk with you about right now. And the title of this chapter from my book is Persuading Respectfully. Persuading respectfully. Now, don't just shut me down quickly thinking you know here what I'm going to say, because I'm going to take this in some unusual directions. We all think we know what it means to respect someone, but do we really? And what about persuasion? Can we persuade others in a way that respects them? Well, here's a quote from Robert Greenleaf, the founder of the field of servant leadership, and that field most influenced my view of leadership and of communication for leaders. And Greenleaf says this, he says, both leader and follower respect the autonomy and integrity of the other, and each allows and encourages the other to find his or her own intuitive confirmation of the rightness of the belief or action. That's Robert Greenleaf. What is he talking about there? What he's talking about is that the more we try to lead by persuading people without giving them the freedom to disagree, the freedom to think differently, the freedom to act differently from what we are trying to get them to do, the more we constrict their freedom, that is to say, the more we disrespect them as autonomous, valuable people in their own right, their own, if I can put it this way, being, the less successful we will be. This is the opposite of what we think of when we think of persuasion. With persuasion, we've got our idea, we've got our message, we've got our information, we've got a goal, an outcome, whatever it is, and we want to get others in tune with that. That's where we start. And Greenleaf says, if along the way we don't do it in a way that demonstrates to other people that we respect them, then we will not be very effective persuaders. Persuasion is the most difficult thing to do as a communicator. You probably know this just from your own family. Try to persuade your kids to do something or believe something, or your partner. Or if you're in an organization, try to persuade someone who's one notch up from you in the organizational hierarchy to do something, maybe to give you a raise. There's a tough one, to try to get a raise, to persuade people. Can you imagine going in to ask for a raise in a way that respects the person being able to decide no as well as yes on your raise? You see, that's what Greenleaf is getting at, and that's what we all need to get at in our leadership persuasion, to do it in a way that others might disagree, and that's okay. Now, I'm not solving the problem here when we're in situations where, by virtue of our leadership positions, others have to go along with us, one way or the other. They can't say no. But initially, if we have thought through how we can express to them what we think they need to do and they must do in a way that respects their autonomy, then we have a much better chance of persuading them. That's the irony in this. So we persuade respectfully. We respect others in the way that we persuade them. That's the key here. And if we approach others to persuade them in a way where it just seems like we're treating them like a piece of meat, or we're just treating them like somebody that we can kick around, whether it's with our words or our body, if we try to persuade them in a way where we don't give them any space to express their disagreement, their unhappiness with what we're trying to persuade them for, if there's no room for that, then they assume we don't respect them, and they are not likely to follow through. Or, worse yet, they follow through though they disagree, and they feel that we have disrespected them. We have dissed them along the way. Well, we live in a society that's torn apart by all kinds of disagreements in every arena, every organization, and there's a lot of disrespect. And the persuaders who come into this as leaders with respect are the ones that will most gain a hearing and actually gain influence, rather than just get people upset with them and exacerbate the existing tensions. So, think about this. Put it into practice in your own life. Be respectful in how you persuade other people. In whatever medium you're using, you'll be a better leader. This is from my book, Communicate Like a True Leader, where I give many examples and illustrations far beyond what I do here. If you're interested, I put a link down below to Amazon. It's an inexpensive book, and I hope you'll give it a look. Meanwhile, tell me what you think down below on this video channel here, and take a look at a few other videos as well. I'd like to serve you the best I can, and I hope that you're getting a sense that I respect you. I want to. Thanks.